not keeping well this morning. Our morning, she messaged me. Okay, so yeah. So before we get started, be ready for the declaration with the high energy. I believe I know it's now time to retire to the bed, but before that we are here for learning. So on this learning requires, do you know what it requires? Learning requires what? Any answer? Learning requires what? Any guesses?
Enthusiasm.
Positive
Yeah,
attitude.
Positivity. Oh,
yeah.
I was going to say that.
Bobby was quite closer. Learning requires energy. Okay, so if you have energy, you can learn many things. Okay, and of course, when energy comes in, positivity joins in. So be ready to declare on the count at the count of three. What you're going to do is give a self high five, declaring that I am a quick learner and I can learn anything out there what others can learn. I too can learn that. So at the count of three, be ready to do that and go. 1 2 3, start. I am a quick learner.
Quick
I'm a
learner.
learner.
I
Learner.
can learn
If
anything out there what others can learn.
I
I
I
can
can
learn
learn
anything out
anything
there
out
what
there, what
others can
others
learn.
can learn.
Thank you so much. So with this note, let me give you some a disclaimer before we get started. And the disclaimer is this: that today, most of the things, like 80%, we will be sharing theory part, not much of the practical. You may not find that much of the practical information I'm sharing with you, but concept wise you will be learning. Okay, so are you ready for this? Yes.
Yes.
Thank you so much. Good evening,
Yes.
Dipti. Welcome to this week 6, day 1, and this is the 16th day. We are in business analysis track. In fact, the fourth session of business analysis track. And let me ask you: did you go through, by the way, the videos which we had asked you to go through last time? I mean, the same recording itself. How
No,
many?
I haven't.
Okay.
Um, I will be honest with you. From
Yeah.
last Friday, I'm like completely lost. So much of work to do, but
Oh.
hopefully this week I should catch up.
Okay. No worries. No worries. More power to you, Dipti. So you get more organized in terms of
And in my
thoughts,
case,
energy, and
I
yeah.
was very busy partying.
Oh yeah. Father's Day.
Father's Day and all those things.
Great time for fathers.
Yes,
Yeah.
same here. The last recording I was not able to hear, listen to because of the Father's Day weekend and everything. So I have to catch up tomorrow to
Totally.
listen.
I can relate with this. So even I was having fun with my father. I was spending
Yeah.
time with my father. It was fun. So all good. No worries. So yeah. So next day we will try to catch it up. But yeah, when the things become and learning becomes fun, it's easy to adapt the things, and it's some means summary. Okay. So with this note, we will get going. And last time, what did we learn? We learn about requirement gathering and what was data driven decision making. Can anyone tell me why this data driven decision making help in corporate in a big way, and for anything why data driven decision making was required? Anything if you
Uh,
remember? Yeah, Bobby, go
yes.
ahead.
What happens if we collect the data and do the proper analyze what happened before, why we are going wrong, and how can we improve comparing it with the past performances, the comparative graphing, and all those things will help us to analyze things and come to the conclusion what needs to be done.
That's good. That's good answer. Any other answer, guys? Any other guys? So, what do you think about data-driven decision making? Why it is required? How it is helpful? Any insight from your end? And even if you remember that, Priyanka, would you like to add something? Data-driven decision making.
Yeah, Gaurav, what I can, recall from the last session is we learned about data analytics, like how those two data analytics and the data-driven decision making, they were connected, and how it gives us some facts and figures to make any decision towards maybe the development team or uh, towards the final goal of the project. That's what I understood.
All right, all right. Thank you so much for trying to answer it and getting into the detail. So, Priya, would you like to add this anything for data-driven decision
Yeah,
making?
from yeah,
Yeah,
from what I remember, I would say just kind of organizing the data or the problems, and then do a kind of analysis and then come to a conclusion.
amazing, amazing. Very good and very simplified. Dipti, would you like to add up something for data-driven decision making? Whatever you remember, why it was required and what was the purpose?
No, I don't want to add anything. At this
Okay, no
point,
problem.
don't remember anything at all.
Okay, no problem. Let me tell you, data-driven decision making was nothing, but this was a concept for identifying a problem, cause of the problem, and reaching towards the solution of the problem. So it's a simple. So if problem exists and you apply data-driven decision making onto that, you will lead towards the conclusion. So this is very simple stuff. Means you remember it starts with what was the problem, why was the problem, then collecting the insight, testing the insight, and then reaching to the solution. So it was simple framework. So if problem is there, you apply data driven decision making and you will reach to the solution. It can be applied not only to the IT problem, not only to IT project, but also in any simple freaking thing. Even for a personal problem, if you go ahead and choose data driven decision making model, you will end up landing on the solution. So isn't it crazy? Yeah. So try someday, because we have tested it in a live call in the last batch and we found that how it helped us. Okay, so with this note, we are ready to move ahead, and today we will be learning about stakeholders. Who is stakeholder, and who are all are known as stakeholder, and is a need in any project management. So okay, so as the slide you see that more of the texts are there, but needless to say, for any project, in any project which is impacting the various connections, so those are called as stakeholders in a simple way. So why I simplified? Because the more simple it is, more easy to understand, right? Because even if you go in corporate, well, let me ask you this question. How many of you have seen the movie Three Idiots, the Bollywood movie Three Idiots? Yeah.
I have seen that, yes.
Okay, so you remember two characters over there. One I don't really remember. One character being played was Amir Khan, and the another character was being played by some South Indian guy, right? Very,
Madhavan.
yeah, very intelligent person. He used to define the any things in a very scientific manner. However, Amir Khan used to simplify the things. Okay, you remember that?
Yeah.
So any definition in the classroom. So what exactly it signifies? It signifies that complicated things look interesting, okay, and simplified things are doable. So our focus will go where? Our focus should go towards a simplified thing, because it will be more doable and it will benefit more people, right? More people involved inside. But when you will present them in a very complicated manner, it might sound really interesting, but it won't help anyone in a longer run. And that's the reason when I say that who is stakeholders. So stakeholders are those who are directly or indirectly impacted by a project, and those could be the sponsors. And sponsors, why? Because sponsors are giving money to the client, vendor's client. Okay, say for example, it's a Bank of America, and it's Bank of America has got some revenue or some what do you call, some shares from some government fund. So who all are involved into that? So government is involved, community is involved, bank itself, that is client, is involved, their employees are involved, their customers are involved, suppliers, community, trade association, every single one related with that Bank of America is involved. And if they are getting into the part of communication, they will be called as project stakeholder. However, people or connections with Bank of America will be anyway called as stakeholder. So did it make some sense? I think you might be aware that generally who are stakeholders, right? I have just further went ahead. I further went ahead and simplified it. Okay, so good to move to next slide. Who So what all the skills are required for managing the stakeholders? So as I shared in the earlier slide, so it is all about communication, right? Communication is required, and when you are communicating and you are ready, you are the person who is ready to plan, and you simply plan, and what is your stakeholders are expecting next from you. Okay, and you are ready to flip the leadership style, you are good at negotiation, you are good at project management, and you can understand what exactly all stakeholders needs. So then you are ready to solve any problem. So this is a kind of a skill. Okay, stakeholder management is a skill, and who is more or less responsible for this? So generally project manager is expected to master this skill. Okay, uh, did it add some clarity? Yes, that these are the
Yes,
skills, simple
yes.
skill: communication, planning, expectation, management expectation, leadership, negotiation, project management, needs assessment, problem solve. Very simple trait. And if you are a product manager or project manager, and if you are having these skill, you will find stakeholder managing will be easy. Why stakeholder management skill is needed, and why at all required? So any guesses around this, any loud guesses why stakeholder management skills are required?
Uh, because basically it's a teamwork, and you do your job, but you still need the team members to communicate with and to be on the same wavelength in order to reach the goal target.
Yes, that's great. Any other answer, guys? Any loud guesses why you should have these skills to manage stakeholder? In fact, why they should be managed? Yeah, yeah, Dipti.
Because there are so many thought process going on, so many planning going on, and you definitely need proper communication with the uh, project owner and other team members. So because of that, you need this management skill.
Yeah, simple. Because everyone is at high priority, low priority, medium priority, is connected with the project. Okay, and they have some thought processes going on, they have some questions going on, and those should be answered prior to the trigger of the question. Do you have you ever experienced, even in this class, some question is arising your mind, it is arising in your mind, and before that it was answered in this call? Have you ever experienced during these sessions, guys?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So why this is called, project stakeholder management skill. In the similar manner, if I'll give you the another example, I'm not sure that in the USA if people are working on 5G or not. Means
Yes.
Okay, so what happens, even general public may have this question about 5G, how useful 5G is there, whether they can switch or adapt towards 5G or not. So these questions are there, these questions are means these questions may not be loudly asked, but these are at certain level they're available inside the mind, and it's stakeholders central's responsibility to answer those questions. Okay, and otherwise what may happen, it will pass the burnout of these questions if it has not been answered. Okay, and that's the reason, always be careful with these skills if you are a product manager or project manager, to have this mastered, so that even before the stakeholders are coming to you through the client, those questions are well answered in advance. And who can do that? Those who have mastered these skills. Simple. Okay. So yeah, moving further. So now when these things are there, stakeholders management skills are there, it comes to the information management. And in today's world, you might have experienced, when I was even giving you the previous examples, so things are more or less with the data, right? You are it's like a curse of information, I would say. Why curse of information? Because until unless you filter the data which is beneficial for you, those information become curse. Okay, because those are so much overloaded, those are so much irrelevant. Until unless you will manage them, until unless you will filter them, you won't find any usage or any connect with those data, or those information. Is it making some sense, guys?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. And that's the reason the further steps come in, which we call it as a information management. And these are connected with the five keys. If you master these skills, and you understand these skills, there will be very much easiness into identifying the relevant information, okay, connecting with those information, and thereby storing those information for personal usage or organizational usage or further project usage. So this information management at enterprise level or project level, you may find that it is more connected. As I shared at just beginning of this session, that today's session will be more towards more towards theory part. And if you will understand that theory part clearly, you will be ready to execute any practical work related to that. Okay, so what kind of practical work? Like how, what all the tools you can utilize to store this information or manage this information. Okay, so as you see that pictorial view says that you should have a leadership key. Then you should understand the operations which are backing towards managing this information, how it has to be processed, why it has to be processed, and how you can filter it ahead so that you can put them together towards evolution of any technology or for the usage of any technology. As I also keep on saying, you might have remembered that every single thing to understand, if you have understood the life cycle of it, it will be quite easy for you to understand how it should be used. So do you remember that we have many times talked about life cycle of anything? Like if we are talking about any domain verticals, if you understand the life cycle of it, you are ready to master that particular domain or vertical. Do you remember these? We have talked many times about the life cycle, and that's the reason. That's the reason you need to understand the life cycle for information management as well. So, how exactly it has to appear? It has to appear from the planning phase itself. Okay, and when you plan about those information, you understand what exactly you will, as a person or as a community or a project team, undergo various phases. So what will happen, you will collect the information, okay, and the collection may happen through by triggering or collection may happen by fetching some information from outer sphere and collecting informations from some inner sphere. When I'm talking about that, say for example, you now let me give you some example. Have you ever spoken or discussed with any of your peer or any of your what do you call it, any of your peers or any of your co-worker about database? Have you ever discussed about it? Any answer, yes or no? Database means so that it will
About
give.
database, no.
Okay,
Well,
so
on a small scale, yes, because I work with a multinational in the optics and I was looking after the sales and customer care. So how to boost this sales? So we used to check last year's performance, a year before or last month, and what is the trend. So yeah, on a smaller scale.
Yeah, so wonderful. So see, the thing is, what you might be not aware that you have spoken about database, but still, this may surprise you that every single day you are playing and you are understanding database. Database could be like your phone call records. Okay, you might have some query related to your phone call, and what exactly you do, you try to fetch on the your receipt of or invoice, or say for example phone bill from last month or 2 months back. So you try to get those information either in either from physical copy of the bills. That's number one. Number two, if you are receiving your phone bills inside your email box, now you are going more digitally and you are trying to access prior information. Say for example your tariff might have changed all of a sudden, right? So what you are going to do, you are going to access the previous bill and the latest bill, and you go ahead and try to compare that what exactly you are doing. Even your email is a one kind of a database which stores your emails, right? You can apply various filters when you have to search one particular email from the list of 100,000 email list. Okay, so rather emails. So what do? You may search that particular email through subject line, through attachment, a particular attachment you are expecting, or type of attachment, or sender's name who might have sent you. So what exactly you are doing, you are collecting this information from the inner sphere. Inner sphere is what? Your email box. But there are some possibility that you can collect outer sphere information as well. Outer sphere means what? Some emails you might have received and it starts with no reply at the rate company name, right? You are clueless that from where this email has come to you. Now what you can do, you can do further search and research work to identify from which IP address this email has been generated. Are you with me so far? Yes. So for that, what do? You ping the domain name. How do you identify the domain name? So in any email address, before at the rate symbol, that signifies the name of the user, and after at the rate symbol, it signifies the domain name with .com, .net, or whatever it is. So what you need to do, you need to go to the command prompt. Command prompt is just your C- just your CMD. Okay, when you do this, what you can do, you can ping the command prompt and it gives you further details like IP address. Say for example, I would say amazon.com. Okay, it will talk about the connectivity. Okay, it will talk about the connectivity, and also it will gives you this IP information, IP address. Okay, when it is giving you the IP address
Gaurav,
for, yes.
yeah, I'm sorry to interrupt. Are you writing something on the whiteboard right now?
No, no, I'm not on the whiteboard. I'm simply sharing. Okay, I was just
Okay,
sharing only the
okay,
PPT.
okay. I'm sorry to
Now,
interrupt.
no, no, no. That's, you were right. Thank you so much for asking, because I was sharing something, but it was not shared with you guys. Okay, so what exactly I did? So let me redo that. Okay, thank you for pointing that out. So what I am doing, I'm using the command prompt, and what I need to do, I need to go ahead from the towards the outer sphere. And you understand that amazon.com, through amazon.com you have the multiple domains for amazon.com. It could be amazon.com, amazon.in, amazon.ca, amazon. Means even edu. But the important part is not these entire domain. Email address will be more specific. So now I need to identify what I need to identify, the IP address of that. So I'm trying to fetch a data from my outer sphere. So what I'm going to do, ping www dot. I hope you can see this clearly. Now it will be more visible to you, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So I'm going to fetch the IP address. Okay. www.amazon.com. In the similar manner, you can fetch the information or IP address of the various domain. Amazon.com is a website name, it's a domain name. Okay, you understand this. It yields the IP address 13.227.233.232. Now there are multiple utilities available on the Google which tells you that which IP address belongs to what or belongs to whom. So by searching that in the Google, you can identify that from which location this has been appeared, this particular email was triggered. Okay, so I gave you two example. One, fetching an information inside sphere, in your own sphere, and fetching information from outside sphere. What you are doing, you are collecting the information, right? And you need to organize those information, and some information requires further authorization. So when I was giving you the example of IP address, it may happen that some information which cannot easily and handily come to you. Say for example, you are trying to access one library, online library available from India to the USA, to Harvard University. You may get the access to the library, but you cannot get the access to the shelf. Exactly. Even by sitting inside the USA in specific county, you may get the access to particular university library. You can get the access to the library, but you may not get access to the shelf. Okay, shelf where particular book you are trying to search and it is available online. Have I don't know whether you have done this or not, but I have done it. So what I did, I was searching for one book, okay, which was written by one of the author in 1906. It was a self-help category book, and the name of the book was Man Search for Himself. Okay, and it was written somewhere in 1906. So I was trying to search this book online, but I couldn't find that. So what exactly happened? In some university in the USA, I found that this book was there and it required some, some kind of membership or something. I tried doing various stuff, but somehow I could not get the access to that book. So ultimately what happens, it ended up with disappointment. And after few months, I found that gradually it was available on amazon.com and all. So in the similar manner, there could be a chances that even if you are searching for some books which might not be available in the market, but you can find those books inside some specific library, and you would try to get the access to that, but it has to undergo some authorization. Okay, and that authorization has to be so much robust, so much quality certified, that it shouldn't be breakable. So these things you need to think in advance as a part of information management life cycle, whether you have planned them properly. Those information can be collected from some specific location, from a specific area. It could be inside the sphere or outside the sphere, and it undergoes some security services. Some security, when I am talking about, it has to be authorized. Okay, and then when you determine the access, okay, when you determine the access, you can organize those files. So there are two parties who are responsible for organizing the one who is lending, one who is borrowing, or one who is using, or one who is allowing to get it used. Okay, and that information has to undergo some documentation process, where they document this information belong to whom, has been given to whom, and for what purpose it is being used. And it's another backup is created and stored, so that if tomorrow somehow the data was tampered or data was damaged, then the originality should not be lost. Okay. And if such backup is created, you analyze where all are those area where these backup can be duplicated and can be availed, so that tomorrow if you need to share it again, distribute again, you can do that. Okay. And when the purpose is resolved, then it has to be disposed and it has to be destroyed, or it has to be reactivated. Why disposal is required? Because now going back towards the sprint planning, in sprint planning I have talked about, sometime, when you are not in the very fresh sprint number 0, but you are getting into sprint 1 2 3 4 5, there you have to understand about some impediment or some debts. We talked about technical debts in the past. Technical debts are those lines of codes which are unused in the entire software making process or entire application development process. Those lines of code has to be eliminated, has to be removed, and if it remains in the system, it is called as technical debt. So it's project manager's responsibility that he or she will make sure that there is no technical debts residing inside any application development when it is moving towards the production. Okay. So are you with me so far, guys? Are you getting what exactly I'm trying to bring? How information is accumulated, how it is filtered, and how it is organized, and how its quality assurance and its accessibility is important, so that it can be stored well, it can be duplicated if required based on the analysis, and then further distributed, and if need arise, it can be destroyed or reactivated. With me?
Balaji,
Yes, yes,
I
Rahul.
couldn't understand some of the concept. Even when the
Yes,
last time
yes.
I
So
came,
for you, what we'll have to do, you'll have to check this entire video, the recording part, because you missed the key part in the starting itself. Okay, Rahul. So,
no,
but
I took this last time also, and still I didn't understand first time also when I took, this
okay.
organized
Did
discussion.
you
And I
did
had
you go through did you go through the recording of last time?
no, I didn't.
Okay.
But this one,
So
I remember you taught last time too, and you and Punyanji lost, and I still had questions. You were not able to explain me the answers. I kept quiet because I didn't want the class to,
okay.
waste.
So what was the question? Just tell me.
I didn't understand how document describe and determine access,
Okay. So
especially
did
since synthesize, analyze, and document describe. Maybe we can discuss after the class, or I can read the recording, whatever you think is better.
Yeah. So did you relate with the example which I gave you, the access of a book in the shelf in the library in the university?
Yeah, because I used to able to access the books without any problem. When I used to go in the library in University of Maryland, I never had access problems. I don't know
Yeah.
why.
So understand this. There could be some books which are not available in the market. Okay. You will
Yeah,
find that those books are available in the library itself. Okay. This could be very unused or less demanded book inside the market, but its availability is there inside the university only. Okay. And that requires you to be the member of those. You need to pay some amount for that. Okay. And for that you will have to come up with such a requirement that which book you really want the access of. Let me give me another example. I in 2004 I was looking for a movie. Okay. In India, there was no books available for that, and the name of the movie was 36 Chambers of Shaolin. Okay, the very first version. Okay, till 2005, till 2010 or 2009, I kept on searching, but I couldn't get the availability. All of a sudden, from 2009 and 10, what I found that it became widely available in the world. Okay, even it was available on the very OTT platforms, although those were the time when where the OTT platforms were not that much, during 2009-10 were not really activated. Okay, but there were still which were evolving. Okay, so you will
what is
have
the
to
OTT platform? OTT platform?
so OTT platform is say for example like Netflix. Okay.
Oh, okay, yes, over,
Yeah,
okay, yes,
yeah,
Netflix, yes,
yeah,
okay.
yeah. So, just to answer your query, what we will do after this call, we'll set. I'll take one book name and we will try to go through that its access is available in the normal world or not, where it is located. Through by using some IP address, you can get into the name of the university and you can try to collect it. Okay. So very long process involved, but why you could reach to that book's information? Because its information was managed pretty well, where these things were taken care, what all these things were there. Let me reshare my screen if you can see this. Okay. Because it were stored properly. Okay, it was ready to be distributed, but before distribution, why the analysis part is there? To understand and identify the location of the information. Okay, and that's why this part is very very important. You need to understand, if you cannot find any information at one place, where all this information will be available as the part of backup, and how to reach towards that backup. If you have analyzed it properly, then you will be easily able to filter them out, and that's why the importance of analysis before distribution becomes very very vital.
So analyze means like how to find that information, right? For that book
Yes, yes.
related.
So book is just an example. It could be analysis for, say, for example, Yahoo.com, right? Yahoo.com lost its very big information chunk before, I think, I don't remember the year, but I think it was in the year of 2019. Yeah, it was getting into a very difficult time, where it was hacked. Yahoo.com itself was hacked, and its database was getting destroyed. And that time Yahoo.com has done a mass mailing informing their customer that come back towards your data. Otherwise, if it is older than 10 years or 5 years, you may end up losing your information. Okay, few people that time were more active on the gmail.com instead of yahoo.com. Those people who did not pay any single attention, they lost their data in a big way. Okay, I was one of the victim of them. Okay, and
They simply erase your data.
yeah, I
Yeah,
lost multiple data because I was not able to access those information for a longer period. Okay, so
that shows bad analysis by Yahoo, I guess.
okay, so those information, even if today I need to access, I need to keep on paying the attention on the information which is being delivered from yahoo.com to every single user like me. Okay, and if I would have paid the attention on those information, I would have retrieved my information of those emails which I have lost. But they are not at the stake because they have informed their users well in advance. I'm not sure how many of you are the similar kind of victim of that. Anyone over here?
I think I can access all my emails from them.
No, you are. If you are a frequently user of that email, you
Yeah,
can
if you
definitely
don't
do
use it
that.
for 2-3 months, yeah, yeah. Gaurav, my thing is, on a broader scale, whatever you have explained, I can repeat almost the same with lots of mistakes. But naturally, you are the master. Hmm? But I have understood it on Amir Khan level. Yeah, on Amir Khan thing. But uh, uh, if I see at all these points, I'm with Rahul up to some extent that I will not be able to explain what determine access means.
What determine?
Access. No, point number 4, bullet
Okay.
number 4.
Determine
Yeah.
access means simply gaining the access. Okay, you are knowing from where you can get the access, from where you have to strict the access. If you are the originator of some data, okay, say for
Mm-hmm.
example, some understand a project, okay, security project of law enforcement in the USA. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so where there would be some document. Okay, you as a business analyst have created that. Okay, its access
Mm-hmm.
can be given to some officers but not to all the officers, and for that there will be authorization level. Authorization level means
Got it. Got it.
super
Yeah.
admin will get or admin will get, and you are the one who is managing this entire access privileges, and you can give them access accordingly. Someone may have the only read access, someone may have not access at all, someone will have the read and write access.
Same as the example which you said, that if you're trying to access the library, you
Mm-hmm.
are not able to access the shelf. But if you pay the fee, certain amount of fee, then the access will be allowed to you.
Yeah.
That's what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah, and that
Mhm.
what kind of access? Requesting the access to the particular book. Okay, it this
Mhm.
access won't be like you have paid the membership and you go ahead and grab and you start reading the book. Okay, so
Mhm.
that
Mhm.
request which you have raised for
Mhm.
accessing the particular book in the particular shelf, then the responsible authority will grant the access. What kind of access they may grant? The read authority. Okay,
Yes. Yes.
and there could be a various things will go in the background before giving you that access. Okay, before
Yeah,
granting you the read
the same
access.
way, the few movies are not available on OTT platform, but they're available if you pay $5. You'll get the access to watch the movie.
Yeah, yeah. So
Yeah.
access
Mhm.
Yeah,
access has a different life cycle. Yeah, yeah. Rahul, please.
yeah, Gaurav, this is
Okay,
yeah,
Priyanka.
I
Yeah.
can go back to one example which you taught us. I think during we were doing agile and Scrum, the
Priyanka,
banking
sorry, I'm
platform.
losing your voice in between. Could you please repeat?
Yeah, I mean, can you hear me now,
Yeah,
Gaurav?
yeah, very well. Yeah, please
Yeah.
go ahead.
So I can recall one example which you gave us while we were in Agile and Scrum. Just wanted to be sure, like, can we relate that, to information management cycle, access to information, where we did the bank, branch manager, teller, and the
Yes.
customer, accessing the information.
Yes, yes,
Is it,
yes.
is
Very well,
can
very
we
well.
apply the same
Yes,
concept?
yes, you can definitely relate with that. And these even these information has to be stored. And when these are stored somewhere, it is called as a part of this documentation where it has been described that how you can utilize those information, right? Yes. So aptly said, Priyanka. Yeah. So you can utilize that information for this particular explanation. Okay. So is it okay to move further, guys? Yeah. Rahul, Dipti, Priyanka, and
Yes.
Priya. Thanks, Priya, for your answer. So yeah, now the comes the important part, and this has been taken from information management body of the knowledge. Okay, what they have done, they have done that how a business information or say for example information management system can be utilized under business information. Okay, and there is a certain flow, those information which has been organized well in what all area and for whatever reason it can be utilized further. So any information can be the part of information technology. It can be the part of the entire information system that can be utilized for any business processes for business benefit to strategize some businesses. Okay, and when in these pillars if it has been used, then you understand that any data or any such information are well kept for any project, and that project gets impacted by any new change to which we call it as a sometime it may be the change request from customer itself, like a product is completely into the production or an application is completely into the production, and earlier its behavior was something different. Now client wants that behavior to be improved or behavior needs to be slightly changed, then its information can be retrieved from the previous version of the project or previous version of the build and can be reapplied or can be reused by improving in those feature. So I can give you some examples. So some example, say for example, uh, anyone is here with any question? Rahul, do you have any question? I see that you have unmuted yourself.
No, by mistake, I
Okay, no worries. No worries. So I take
Business
it
process.
as
Let me see. Business benefit, business strategy. Yeah,
okay.
I had the same question last time
Yeah, then
too.
ask. Yeah. So
I mean, I was asking, because I think so. I had a lot of questions on business analysis last time too with you and Prerna. They were not answered.
so why
Um,
did you not join the Q&A session then after that?
no,
Did you?
probably I did. I probably missed
Okay.
it. That's the problem.
Okay, so next time, please. So next time, please join is the in the Q&A session. At least the last session of this. But still, you can ask me. I think I can take those question if you have. Like I have taken your question over here. The analysis part was not clear to you. In the similar manner, if you can ask me quickly, and I can tell you.
Yeah, when you're saying information technology drives information system, business process, business benefit, business strategy, I had the same question for you and Prerna when I took this class the
No, no.
first time,
Ask.
right?
Be precise. Ask me right now. What is
Yeah,
your
yeah. I'm
question?
asking. I'm asking. I'm
Yeah.
asking. Usually, you make a business strategy and then everything comes out. Like at the strategic level, let's say Coca-Cola company says, "Well, we have to enter, Vietnam's market, and Vietnam, Cambodia, and all these, Malaysia and
Mm-hmm.
market because, we have not penetrated, and we have seen like Pepsi has 65% of the market, and they're able to market well. So at the
Mm-hmm.
executive level, the strategy is made in Atlanta because their headquarters in Georgia. So
Mm-hmm.
then I would say they use, okay, this is the planning, these many resources we have. This is maybe the information technology we're using. It's not at par with Vietnam or
Mm-hmm.
Cambodia because maybe it's too high and it's too less there. We need to be compatible, so forth. We don't have the infrastructure, and then all these we don't have the information systems. Then all the middle level managers they give this information to them. This is the reason, and then they maybe change the strategy, and you know what I mean. This is
No,
how
no, I did not understand. So, what is the problem? Tell me the problem and what is your question where you are seeking the solution. Then I may answer you.
I'm thinking first people, the corporation make a business strategy and then they see, if we have this business strategy, what kind of technology, what kind of resources, what kind of processes we need. This is what I would think.
Yeah, that you can simply understand that. So this is a reverse class which is telling you that data information can be reutilized and utilized at what all level. It does not just
Okay.
end up over here that don't consider as that when I am depicting over here in pictorial form, this is going to be a flow, right? Because
Okay.
this can be reused in the newer version, because you have established some information, you have gathered some information from the previous set of activity, and now you want to reuse them, right?
Okay. You're kind of using it as a lessons learned to refine your strategy. Maybe that's what you're saying.
You may say that, but this is the information, information management which can be applied at the various level. So it is just not starting from business strategy, but also it can be applied in every single information level when you are doing a business.
I
Okay,
guess maybe
so
we'll have a one-on-one session next time. Maybe
okay, okay, definitely, definitely. So it's all together about a different part, guys. If you are thinking that you are not able to understand that, so let me tell you, information management system itself is a complete vast subject. For that, you might require to get the a different set of courses to do. Okay, but when it is concerned about only business analyst, you should have the information about it, that how a BA can access those information, why this information management system should be known to business analysts, so that they can access or they can pick up some terminology, and they can reuse them, and they are just aware of that how these things function, how these things works. Okay, you should not be getting into this. Okay, I need to understand this information management system from top to bottom or bottom to top. But if you are aware that how information is stored, how information is reutilized or utilized, or from to where to fetch the data, you are aware that these are the part of information management system, and I need not to get into that, right? Are you with me so far, guys? Let's make it very simple, let's not make it complicated. So is it yes to move to next? Yeah, guys, can I get the
Yes, we
yes?
can.
Thank you so much
Yes, we
for
can.
thumbs up, Dipti and Priyanka. Okay. So see, the thing is what I may talk about few things like I may use a word called hardware. Does it mean that you need to get into the hardware or detail of the hardware? You may ask me that simple definition. I may tell you, but you need not to get into the BIOS or processor and every single details of chips and circuits and all. I may say, okay, this is not your part. Your focus should be what just business analysis or scrum mastering or understanding the agile and scrum. So there I will simply tell you that this is not the part of business analysis term, and let's not get into that. So now there is some more details coming up for you. This is about the knowledge area that includes information management, which you can find in the various information area. Okay, so information technology can be learned for hardware differently, for software differently. Then it comes to information system. So what happens, information technology built into a system that needs for business as well as for policy and processes creation. For that, when you will understand the information system, you can understand how to reutilize the data and the information which is available on the say for example on the soft level. Okay, what do I mean by soft level? It means it's digital availability. Okay, then further you need to know that for information management you can simply understand the business information as well. Why business information? Because to understand this information management, you will undergo some various analysis process. You will understand that few data can be filtered and few data can be reused. So understand the keyword over here for this entire information management system is that fetching the data, analyzing the data, filtering the data, and reuse of the data. Let me repeat that. So fetching the data, analyzing the data, okay, and reusing the data and storage of those data. These are the basic information you should be aware for the information management. Why you should be aware of this? Because those will be beneficial inside your project. Even though if you are not knowing inside information management system everything from start to the end, but at least you know that some data can be retrieved, some data can be recreated, some data can be filtered and analyzed and reused, then you are good enough. Okay, so this is the very simplified way for the understanding the entire information management system. Yes, did it make some sense to you guys? May I hear some yeses?
Definitely yes.
Thank you.
Definitely yes. Yes.
Thank you so much. So these were the left out part from week 5, day 3. Okay, but still we are in week 6, day 1. Now understand, when we have spoken so much about information management system, you need to know that how this information flows or data flow. You need to represent it. Sometimes few data are such kind of a data which you need to require to represent it in front of stakeholders, right? And how would you represent that? So talking all about information management system, talking all about stakeholder management system and their skill was because I wanted you to focus on one area which is highly beneficial for business analyst, and that's why these were just the preparatory slides for you to bring upon those elements which is called as data modeling, or rather let me say that those are more or less are understanding the various data model. What are those data models? So those are the pictorial representation of understanding the processes. Okay, so gone are those days where things were really theoretical and you needed to just read the text. Now things has to be available in pictorial format as well. With this note, let me move to the next slide. Okay, so just give me a second and I am resharing my screen with you, and here we call it these 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 tools which are useful for information management, those are also known as business analysis models. When we are talking about these models which helps in data modeling, there are various n number of diagrams available. Okay, so few diagrams we are well aware of, and why these diagrams are, these are the pictorial representation to understand the data flow. Okay, are you with me so far? Let me ask you this question. Are you with me so far, guys? Yeah? Yeah, thank
Correct.
you.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you. So in Hindi we call it at, ये सब भूमिका बांधी जा रही थी. What we were doing was just a preparation part, pre-preparatory part of pre-preparatory part to reach towards, business, understand the business analysis model. We understood information management system, we understood stakeholder management system, we understood, what we understood the traits of stakeholder management. And why we were trying to understand that, so that we can understand that we can reach towards analyzing the so that we can understand how a business analysis models can be used and why these are used. So how many of you have heard in the past about these diagrams, activity diagram, mind maps, product roadmap, and a SWOT analysis, fishbone diagram, process flow diagram? So there are n number of diagrams which are used in the projects. Have you heard any in the past, guys? Priyanka, have you heard?
Gaurav, I think I've heard of SWOT.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
But
have you heard ever the diagram name as flowchart? I believe and assume everyone might have.
yes, flowchart, I think I'm aware of, like
Yeah.
we.
So flowchart is a one kind of a diagram which is widely used in every single diagram today. Okay, and you can't say that because this flowchart is this, why can't we call it simply as flowchart? So flowchart is a concept, flowchart is a foundation, flowchart is the basic, which is reused inside every advanced diagram. Why we use them in diagram? To represent some flow, to represent some flow in the project, to understand, and so that you can understand any concept or any feature or any functionality as it is. Okay, you remember whenever I explain something, you find that it is really not getting into it, then I use the whiteboard and I start designing pictorials. So these things are like, I have not even thought of those things well in advance, but the moment I will start drawing its pictures, when I am representing in pictorial form, then you understand it very well. In the similar manner, when you are representing some data in front of the client, they may not understand the text, but when you represent the flow in the diagram, in the diagram, they may easily able to relate. Okay, and that's why for business analysts it is very vital to understand what all the diagram you can create, so that you can simplify some concept. So diagrams should be known to business analysts how to create them, to understand the concept or to simplify the concept, or simplify the functionality of a feature. And that's why here it comes business analysis models, and these are activity diagram, mind maps. Have you gone through ever any mind maps, guys?
Yes, yes,
Okay.
and I could also relate to this. When we communicate with a toddler, small child, we don't try to teach them the spelling, but try to recognize the picture. That's how that's easy to understand, and then move ahead.
Yeah, that's wonderfully told. But we are kind of a person. Human is a kind of person. They feel that pictorial representations are always useful for toddlers only, and there we
Yes,
do a really big mistake. Okay,
yes, yes,
because
yes.
it's a mind, it's a brain, and brain functions in the similar way as it functions in your childhood. It develops the information, it develops more memory, but the functionality does not change, right?
yes,
Means you can easily remember the story, you can easily remember the colors, you can easily remember the pictures, but when it comes to just simple data, it becomes mundane, it becomes
yes,
like it does not feel like even processing them, right? So when you involves the various senses into towards the learning of any new concept, where your eyes are involved, where your physical movement is involved, you tend to learn those things faster because your entire sensory systems are there. So when we talk about, hey, go through this video again, why we do ask that? Because we want you to uh, involve your entire sensory system. When you go start going through that, you simply pause and play the things. Okay, there you see that some pictorial examples are given already. Okay, so what you are doing, you are you are applying your concentration on the video at your own pace. You can play that, pause that, speed them up, right? So you are not just applying your eyes and your ears, but your physical movements are connecting. It's a kind of a interaction as well, right? And here as well, when we start something, we do some physical activity. Why physical activity with the learnings are required? Even if you are really grown up people, you are full blown adult, even for them it is required, because physical is memorable in a long run. Okay, so everything is interconnected when it comes to learning, and that's the reason these diagrams are very very important and plays a big role. We have spoken about mind map app keep on using. So when I was talking just now that when you don't understand something, I bring the whiteboard, and even I was not aware that what I am going to do. I start drawing something and I end up sharing some concrete example with you. Then that kind of thinking is called, what as that kind of thinking is called as visual thinking. And if you are a business analyst, you must master visual thinking. I'm not talking about design thinking, I'm talking about visual thinking. So most of the master who has coined up the types of thinking, they are today recommending the visual thinking, which you have seen in this lecture many times. Are you with me so far? Yes.
yes,
Yeah. Thank you so much for the yeses. And here you see the this is the one kind of mind map I have used several times to share with you. So what goes inside, how you can categorize the stuff and all. So do you remember me using mind map in the past?
yes,
Yeah, thank you so much for the answer. Let's move back to the PPT. And in PPT, let's move further, what is in the store. So, yeah. So, information management system we have gone through. Okay, we are coming here towards business analysis model. So, yeah, here it is wonderful thing written. So, no more writing of the processes, but define and depict through design. So it is telling us that why business analysis models are required. Okay, and how you can design them, then using business analysis model tools. So now this is the time to declaration again, the same thing, because we are moving towards the deeper level of utilization of these tools. I'll be giving you one tool which you will start using that, and you can entirely use every single tools, the name of the tools which I have written over here, or which I have mentioned over here. So I want you to do this at the count of 3 once again, reminding yourself that you are a quick and fast learner. Ready for this? Yes, give me thumbs up guys, give me thumbs up. Yeah,
Yes.
thank you so much. So at the count of 3, you are going to tell yourself with the high five that I am a quick learner. 1 2 3 go. Give a high five. I am a quick and fast learner.
quick learner.
I'm a
Quick
fast
and fast
learner.
learner.
Yeah. And now, please bring your palm, right palm on your heart, and say, if anyone can learn out anything there, I too can learn that.
If anyone
If
can
anybody
learn.
can
I
learn
can
anything, I can too.
I too can
If
learn
anyone
that.
can do that, I can do that too.
Thank you so much. You guys are really awesome because you have understood and cracked the code. What is the importance of declaration and modeling the declaration with the physical activity. So let's move further and understand it in detail. What I am here to bring for you. So this is here. Okay. So what we are going to learn, what all those diagram names are there. If you wish, you can take the picture of it. What we are going to learn. So we are going to learn about activity diagram, mind maps, product roadmap, SWOT analysis, fishbone diagram, process flow diagram, and also visual modeling, workflow diagram, diagram, WBS, conversion to design, doc template, and understanding. Will become more, fun filled when you will find that you are capable enough of designing them. So are you excited to learn about these? Shout out yes if you are.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
So before we take a deep dive, let me quickly tell you what few abbreviation means. What is ER diagram? ER diagram means entity relationship diagram. WBS is work breakdown structure diagram. So yeah, and at the end of this analysis diagram, you will be capable enough to create some documents for yourself. So one quick information for you, you can create a free trial account for yourself inside lucidchart.com. You can write the name. Let
How do
me
you spell it, Gaurav?
yeah let
L
me
U.
lucid chart, okay, .com. So let me reshare my screen so that it will be easy for you to get that. Okay, can you see on the screen lucidchart.com?
Do you have to create an
Yeah.
account, Gauravji, there, or just go there?
No, you will have to create a free trial account over there so that you can practice whatever I'm going to share with you. So either you can practice, there are various tools, right? So one is Visio. So for that you will have to install MS Visio. It's a Microsoft product. There are many more such tools, but lucidchart.com is there. This is a kind of tool where you will find yourself that you are able to create any diagram which I am going to talk today.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So have you taken the name lucidchart.com,
Yes,
guys?
please. Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah, most welcome. So, yeah. So, let's move further. What is activity diagram? Activity diagram now is very, very important. What happens, when we talk about activity diagram or any kind of diagram, people tend to ask this question. Okay, so what I see that things are more or less you know more or less like a flow chart. Okay, so as I said earlier, flow chart being the concept, flow chart being the base or foundation, you will find most of these flowchart will be reused and used inside the various diagrams. Why it is called as activity diagram? Here we are going to more or less discuss the activities. So this is one example. This diagram is one example of ATM withdrawal system. Okay, ATM withdrawal system. There is activity. Okay, there is an activity of withdrawing some amount using ATM card. Okay, ATM card. And for any such diagram, these are the black dots you are seeing over here. Simple black dot. To start any activity, you need to remember that black dot, it is representation of the start. However, this black dot under a circle is a always representation of what? Representation of stopping the activity. Is it clear so far? So here it is starting, the black dot is starting, and black dot in a circle is about abandoning the activity. Okay. So what happens inside, while you start doing some activity, there are three items. One, you create input, you expect output, but while doing this input and output activity, you need to take some decision. Okay, you need to take some decision, and those decision are represented in a diamond. you see the 4 square, rather this kind of a triangle. This is a diamond shape rather. So this is called as a decision box. Okay, so let me go to whiteboard and make it simplify for you, so that you I expect that you might be knowing. So this is a kind of a kite shape. Okay, this is also called as a diamond, and this is also called as a decision box. It's a simple I hope you have seen this. Now going back to this activity diagram, what activity we are going to do? There is a customer, ATM machine is involved, and bank is involved. Here the activity you are doing, you have input, you have done one input action that it
Sorry, cannot see the PPT. Sorry.
Okay, let me. Okay, yeah. Can you see it now?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Yeah. So three area: customer is involved, ATM machine is involved, and bank is involved. Okay. So there are various steps involved in it. The first thing is the input. What is input? You are inserting your ATM card. So for activity diagram, these are called as input boxes. The green one you are seeing over here, these are input, and the kind of light green, those are output boxes. Okay, so what is here? You insert a ATM card. Okay, so what ATM does, ATM validates those ATM card. Okay, so the moment you insert an ATM card, that's the input. The output is at the next level, becomes the validation. You don't have to do anything. That will be processed inside the system, inside the ATM machine system. Okay, and when it validates that this is the right card, okay, it will ask you for entering the PIN. Okay, and if it finds that it is really not a valid card, here you see the decision box is there, where it validates and it goes to the validating loop when it becomes success, and invalidating process where it becomes unsuccessful. So it prompts you for taking the card out, and your input is your action. You are taking the card out, and here it stops when it becomes invalid. However, when it becomes valid, it will ask you to enter the pin, and you inputting the pin, okay, that's the input process, okay, becomes your input. And after keying in the pin number, it authorizes the pin, it validates again, and when it validates, then again two action step, whether it becomes successful or unsuccessful. So when it becomes unsuccessful, it will go to another step. Another step means just give me a second. Yeah, it goes to another step when it becomes the invalid, and it will ask you, it will prompt you to eject the card. So another input becomes when you take out the card, and there the activity abandons. Okay, however, when your pin are authorized, it will ask you to enter the amount, and again it will check the balance. So when it checks the balance, there are now the time to take the decision. If the balance is less than the amount requested, it will again go through and it will ask to check the balance, and you will end up ejecting the card because there is not sufficient balance. If the balance is there, then what it will do, you have two options given: take money from the slot, and process something which we call it as the debit the account in the bank. Okay, and now it moves towards the show the balance again. Whatever the account amount you have taken out, it will show the balance available, and then you are ready to eject the card and take the card. So this is one process, one activity of cash withdrawal through ATM machine, try to be simplified by a business analyst, that how in a banking or in a ATM machine the cash withdrawal will function, and they have tried to represent it through activity diagram model. Okay, are you with me so far, guys? The simple step, they have tried to put everything in the pictorial form, and every single level and pictures and these buttons or input box, the decision box has been labeled. Okay, they have been labeled. Okay, so this is one of the diagram. Now move further. So this is a mind map. I need to explain you mind map, because even in mind map, idea is there and idea has to be brainstormed. So mind map is used for brainstorming the idea, so that you can further reform that idea. And even the idea is available, you can showcase the categorization of that idea, or how the idea is getting splitted further, and what all the section you can use them. So it's all about understanding the central process, and then understanding the category of those central processes, and their branches and their branches and their branches. It may get elaborated further. So even if you are seeing over here there are one node, it can have the multiple branches further. Okay, so I have been using this mind map well every time. So do you want me to explain it, or it's okay? You can try this mind map in some mind map tools, so it will be easy for you. Yeah.
It's okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
Gaurav,
guess. Yeah.
yeah, go ahead, Priya.
No, I was just saying that it's okay.
Yeah,
It's okay.
Yeah,
Priyanka, do you have any question? Yeah, please ask.
yeah. For the mind mapping, it said example, like it's just you know, for the example, it said example, right, for main idea. And so, what do you mean by example? Like, can
Priyanka,
put it in thing?
Priyanka, could you please bring once again your mic closer to
Yeah,
your mouth?
sorry.
No worries.
Can you hear me now, Gaurav?
Yeah, better.
Yeah. So in the diagram, it's written main idea, and then it's like, detail. Um, yeah, detail example. When it says example means like, we can fill in anything right there,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, you can fill in anything right there. So this is the dummy representation of a basic mind map. So one mind map I have represented over here. So say for example, we are planning that be agile training. So be agile training can be given to whom? To working professionals, okay, to interns, okay, to students, uh, to fresh graduates. Okay, fresh graduates, they are neither intern and nor the student yet, but they are just fresh graduates. Okay, so anyone can get that. So now I have these category. So further I can go ahead, working professional. So I can have the category from 1 to 3 years. Okay, so why I'm doing this? Because I may need to define the tuition fee for them, right? So 4 year to 7 years experience holder. Yeah, maybe they are in a different stream they might be working. Okay, then 4 to 7 year, then 7 to 15 years, and the level of information or tuition will be given to them, that will start varying. Okay, are you with me so far? What I am doing, I'm just thinking, and
Yes,
i'm
Gaurav, I understood.
i'm
Yes.
developing it.
Yep.
That's it.
Yep. Yeah.
So
Thank you.
thank you. Yeah, now understand basic mind map. After basic mind map, what is this? So before talking about this, let me go back. Yeah, this is a product roadmap. So what happens as a project manager? um, okay, just give me a second. Just give me a second, guys. I'm just having a sip of water. Yeah, so product roadmap is generally created by product managers. Okay, but business analyst, if you are there, then understanding product roadmap will be appreciated. Okay, so to understand in detail that product roadmap, either you can create in the lucid chart or in visio, but in case you don't have anything available, then there are more such tools are available which makes things easy. So for example, even excel, in the excel you can design the product roadmap. Okay, you can design the product roadmap will give you the representation of if you are going to define a release plan, okay, release plan means in what all layers and on what all levels you can release one sprint, okay, that you are going to define. However, this definition is a planning, which is projected over here, is talking about a sales plan from quarter 1 to quarter 4, okay. So in quarter 1 and quarter 2, they are going to understand some product, okay. That product will talk about one team where these will integrate some key features into quarter 1 and quarter 2. That's it. One team will work for quarter 1 and quarter 2, where they will be responsible to understand or to utilize this Salesforce integration. However, in the quarter 1 and quarter 2, there will be team 2 where they will keep on working on the reference key. The reference key will be those elements which will be responsible to reuse them inside the Salesforce integration. Salesforce is a tool, and it does, various kind of data filtration and data processing and data visualization part. So this is about, if you need to understand a complicated system in a dashboard view, then to simplify that, Salesforce is a one beautiful and wonderful application. Okay, I think yeah, Rahul has taken the training of Salesforce, but however, I have not used the Salesforce ever. So but I have fair idea about it. So another team is working continuously on organization chart automation. Okay, so there are different teams which are given, who are given the various works, and they have been defined its timeline as well. Say for example, here it is given the Q1 and Q2, but you should be understanding that all these activity and the workflow you can design and create inside the Excel sheet, also inside the various tools. This is not really a very tough management system or a very tough, tools which you cannot understand. If you can understand some input and output, then it is very easy for you to design them. Okay, so what is it is representing over here? It is representing the delivery roadmap. Okay, delivery roadmap of some problem towards a solution. Okay, so this is one of the way. We will more talk about further about how any project plan you can fit in such kind of visualization, in such kind of tools. So we will be talking about that. However, understand a product roadmap may look like this. Okay, I will be also using whiteboard to let you understand that how project timeline you can grab, you can design inside the product roadmap. Okay, with me so far, this is just to give you the example, and who generally creates these project roadmap and project release map, or project timeline. So generally project managers and product owners create that. You being a business analyst or scrum master, you should be knowing that how should it look like, and you should be able to understand those. Okay, so here you are understanding team 1 is there, they will work for Q1 Q2 only on Salesforce integration. Team 2 will work on these 2 area, team 3 will works on these 3 areas. So you have fair idea who will do what. Yes, with me so far? Yes.
Yes.
Thank you. Let's move further. This is another SWOT analysis representation done in one of the tool. So what is SWOT analysis? SWOT analysis, to identify any problem, to reach towards solution, you need to understand what all the strength of that particular feature which you are going to adapt or you are going to choose. Okay, what all are the weaknesses of that, what all opportunities they have, what all threats they have, and you simply categorize them into 4 different quadrants. Okay, when you are able to categorize these things, now let me tell you, whatever I am explaining you, that not only are relevant for solving a problem at IT level, at IT project level, even for your personal life problem. If you understand these things well, if you will utilize them, you will reach to a significant solution. Does it sound interesting to you right now?
Oh, yes, definitely. It can save my marriage.
Okay, so yeah, so it can help people or bachelors who are looking to get married, looking for getting married. Okay, and vice versa as well, because yeah, so it can fix any problem. So now, if you have understood this SWOT analysis, so again, coming back over here on SWOT analysis is strength, weakness, opportunity, threat. Categorize them and you will reach to the solution, that you know that what area to be worked upon. Any question so far, guys? Any
No,
question?
thank you. Thank you. It's been good. Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much. Let's move further. We have 3 minutes left, and let me come back that understand what all I can cover faster. So yeah, so yeah, we will be able to do the things. Okay, let me reshare. Yeah, and here we see here what we see here, fishbone diagram. What is fishbone diagram? So fishbone diagram, as you see that this is simple. Okay, the tail is about the cause of a problem. Okay, let me reshare the screen because I want to let you see the bigger picture. Okay, yeah, so fishbone diagram is a kind of a diagram where it appears as a fishbone only. You can see it has a tail and it has a root, it has a mouth. Okay, so this point we have some problem and we know the cause. Okay, we start with first cause and we have to reach to the root of that cause. Okay, last time we have spoken, if you are from last class, and even if you are not there, you need to understand this. Say for example, this example I am reusing it from the last session, last class of business analysis track. And say for example, in production what happens, some simple thing got broken. Okay, some simple thing got broken, and you understand, you don't know why it broke, because uh, now to identify this, you will have to travel from you will have to travel in a reverse order. Reverse order means why the problem occurred, before that if the problem was available in the earlier phase, before that a problem was there in the earlier phase, if it was there in the earlier phase, whether it has broken somewhere in the current situation, if that situation was also there in the previous phase. Okay, and in the reverse order you have to reach to the root. Okay, so now let's understand something has broken. So we have pre-production environment, right? We are here in the production. Are you with me so far, guys? Let me understand.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
so say for example, what has broken, the moment you try to withdraw a currency of 500, it dispenses only $200. Okay, this is the biggest surprise. Okay, so or by mistake there is a no currency note. I'm giving you now the different example. So there is a different note, $200 is being dispensed by $200 being dispensed by ATM machine, but it only dispenses when you key in two things. First, you request for dispensing the 200 withdrawal, it dispenses that, but also when you when you key in 299, it dispenses $200. Okay, because there is no currency note of $299, it was not tested in the pre-production. Okay, it was not tested in the pre-production, so only positive testing has happened. Then again, so management has received their all the things, like everything was green, 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 they did not even think of this. Now come back to the different environment in SIT and in UAT in UAT, in SIT, and in QA environment, it has been passed. It was not tested. Okay, now who all were involved in those kind of testing? So testers were involved, business analysts were involved. Business analyst means they were just asking question and they got the answer. Okay, this is done, something like that. Project managers sometimes they also test the this is not their work, but still sometimes they tend to work on the application and they found that everything is working in a green, so it was not tested over there. Now comes to developers. So developer has also not tested that. So why it was happening? Because this happened because the moment he has typed something technical has happened with his keyboard, okay, and it was never been identified. So what has happened, the moment he has punched in $299, it has always translated into $200. Okay, so I have some questions. So
I'm
yes,
sorry, Gaurav. I'm
no
really sorry.
problem.
But
That's
yeah, it's 11 o'clock. So
okay. Thank you so much for reminding. So we will talk about this more in detail in the later class. And thank you so much, Dipti, for reminding it. I am 2 minutes over, and if you would have not reminded me, I might have would have taken more 5 or 10 minutes. Thank you so much. So it's okay to understand till here, so that in tomorrow's class we can go in the detail of fishbone diagram. It was an interesting thing, but we will look at it next time with the more fresh mind. Okay, cool. So
Yes, Gaurav. Sorry to interrupt you. Tomorrow, when we'll start with the fishbone structure, I would also like to understand the environment, people, or those
sure,
headings. What
sure.
exactly does it
Definitely,
represent to us? Yes.
we'll do it from the start itself. Thank you so much. So please come up with the one word for today's session which comes in your mind, guys.
Gauravji,
So
1 second though. Gauravji, 1 second.
yeah,
Hello. See,
so
last time when you had explained SWOT analysis, you had explained in more detail. Last time, much more detail. When you and Prernaji explained, you took 10 minutes to detail. So maybe next time if you could put more light on SWOT analysis also. That'll
okay,
be
okay, I'll do that. I'll do that. So you don't have any question right now, correct? So we can wrap up the session because we are beyond the time. So yes, Bobby. So today's word from you after understanding these theoretical level at the detail. Yeah, one word in your mind.
Uh, Need to be more sincere. Hi,
Sincere is the word. Thank you so much. Call out someone's name.
Deepthi.
Dipti.
I felt exactly the same, Bobby. I felt that, oh my gosh, I have to catch up so many things. So thank you so much, Gaurav, for your patience, and thank you so much for teaching us. You really are a great teacher. But I felt that somewhere we are just like, or maybe I'm failing you.
No worries.
So,
Yeah.
but I'm trying my best. Thank you, everyone, for understanding.
Yeah, one word done. Call out someone's name, please.
Priya.
Priya.
Yeah, I would like to repeat what Deepthi and Bobby said. Yeah, that's it. And I'll have to go through the session once again and come up with questions if I have any.
Call out
Thank you so
someone's
much,
name, please.
Gauraji, for handling today's session without any help. Yeah, I would like to call Priyanka.
Yeah, thank you, Priya. I think today's session was great and a lot of pictorial diagrams to study and to see. But it was fun as well as intense, I would say.
Thank you.
Rahul, is Rahul done?
No, Rahul.
yes.
Yeah, Rahul.
I would say very analytical and mind blowing because it really touched the fundamentals of business analysis.
Thank you. Thank you so much, guys. And one thing comes in my mind is thank you so much for being patient, honest, and feel free anytime to interrupt me. And I may get into the subject and I may go on and on and on and may never stop. So be mindful of your time because at my end, day is starting, at your end, night is getting over. So always. So with this note, thank you so much and good night.
Gaurav,
Yeah.
yeah. Do you have a minute or so? I mean, it's optional. Like if
Yeah,
you
yeah,
have, then can we
definitely.
continue? And the rest, if anybody wants to leave, then
Yeah, yeah.
Just wanted to
I
ask you
also
that.
have. Yes,
So we'll take up Bobby first. Yeah, Bobby.
yes,
Okay.
yes. Gaurav, today I was asked to submit my resume, and I thought it is too early to submit and think about resume because uh, uh, I thought it's too early to think about a big dream which I'm intending to achieve. It's too early. So I thought, shall I leave submitting the resume after we have finished with the week 8 or so?
Okay, and okay, why you think so that it is too early for you?
Because if I asked within myself that, Bobby, are you prepared? No, no, I'm not prepared. I still need to work hard, study hard, and yeah, I don't
Okay,
know how to explain.
Bobby, a very wonderful thing, and thank you so much for this honesty. So, one quick tip for you. You know, I have learned so many things by just applying one method, and I want to share these method with you and Priyanka as well. So this
Mm-hmm,
really work, and if you can teach this concept to your kids, you are
mm-hmm,
really doing magic with their life. Okay, so at the age of my during 40s, I have learned so many complicated things like test automation and project management, various things at just as a on snap of my finger. Okay, how you can learn that? It's all about creating some dendrite connection inside your brain. How you can create
mm-hmm,
those dendrite connections are nothing but creating some neuro network inside your mind. You may find that some people are forgetting something. Why? Because their neuro network gets weaker. your
mm-hmm,
your understanding, if it is there, that I have to make the neural network stronger, means this is a connection of some dendrite neuron cells. So what you need to do, you need to start giving it more reminders towards what is working. So when you are how you can do that? By sending more information to your brain cell. How you can do that? By bringing more declaration inside your body. So that's why we have multiple times keep on practicing some declaration, and it the more it is repeated, the more the connection becomes stronger. I'm just explaining you quickly because you guys have less time, that's why.
Yeah, you
So
mean to say take on the challenges? Yeah.
no. It's a very simple thing. So, what do you do whenever you start learning a new concept? You do one thing: declare that I'm a quick learner. I can learn anything what others can learn too. Okay, start reading or studying that, and after 5 minutes or 10 minutes, you will sense that you are losing the connection. Okay, then again apply the this what do you call declaration again and restart. So you have to do this activity thrice. The moment you are done doing this thrice, you will find you are adapting those concepts very and very faster, and you will amaze that what a level of a learning speed you have. That's number one. You can learn literally anything during that point. And second, once you have learned that, quickly go ahead, either you design you draw whatever you have learned, that's number one, and immediately either you explain that to someone or teach the same concept to your children. Or if you don't find that, just go inside the mirror, try to explain yourself. So this is the next level. Okay, and this is the very simplified manner. Trust me, if you are anyone 60 years old does that, he will find his memory has enhanced, his learning power has super accelerated. So with this note, why I'm sharing with you, because if you can do this, you will have more confidence. Hey, I can really learn anything on the quick snap, and even I have spent 6 weeks, I can really do wonders. But truly appreciate your honesty and your decision. You can still take time and then resubmit. Okay, so no
Thank you.
rush. Go ahead, go back. You can join the another class as well. I don't see any more classes coming up, but yeah, your mock interviews and all those things are waiting.
Mhm.
And for that, you will have to create your LinkedIn connection. You'll have to go RRRP session. Those are reference ready resume preparation, and that's why you guys are being asked for resume. At least you guys can create the resume. That won't be a bigger challenge. But when you say that you are not getting ready, you are not ready, that's a different concept altogether.
Mhm.
At least you can be ready with the resume. Okay.
Okay. Yep.
Thank you. Thank you so much for
Thank
asking
you.
and being
Thank
honest.
you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Thank you.